All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Garage Talk Sports. I'm Mills.
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Nick.
And we're back in the garage. I'm back with you guys this week.
Yay.
Yeah. Woo.
Nice
Don't worry,
back,
everybody.
Andrew.
You only had to go 1 week without
Some
me.
people were scared. They thought he was going to be gone
I
forever.
know a lot of people were missing.
I thought
man.
he was going to be gone forever.
Yeah, it was going to be the Nick and Bobby show.
You guys wanted to run me off the show, run me out of the garage. But I'm back. We're bringing another episode to you guys today. Going to be talking some MLB, NFL, and NBA. NBA playoffs going on. Some big news coming out of it as well. Certain discussions that we kind of want to have regarding a certain possible GOAT, some would say. But we'll lead off with MLB talk first. Jacob deGrom doing what he always does every year, dominating, leading that Cy Young and MVP conversation once again.
I mean, he had me nervous because he was on the IL, and then he came back, and then they put him back on the IL. So I was nervous for his first start back. But, I mean, obviously...
Oh, yeah.
That man is not phased.
Yeah, he's not phased by it at all.
He is unfazed always, right?
So, thank God I have him on my fantasy team. It's good to have him back.
Everything comes back to fantasy sports with you, huh, Bobby?
Every
Yeah, it
single
does,
time.
man.
Everything.
Come on.
I mean, that's how Bobby lives his
Yeah,
life.
exactly.
Bobby is not an actual sports player in any of these sports. So him being a fantasy
It's
player,
all fantasy sports and sports betting.
Exactly.
It's close
Which
to what he needs.
We will
retired
bring
in
some
eighth
betting
grade.
segments to the show with Bobby.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
we
yeah.
will.
we
Once
got
get
some,
closer
we got some
to football.
ideas, right? We got ideas.
Yeah.
Once we get closer to football, I will definitely be bringing in my
Bobby
picks.
has no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
NBA
he's done.
Or
I don't know if we want to listen to his parlay
or
deals and everything,
MLB, right?
NBA or MLB, but NFL, Bobby's a moneymaker
Yes,
in the NFL.
yes. I have made money off NFL. So
I don't bet on games. I don't have enough faith in myself to pick a game, right?
That's why we'll put the faith in Bobby. Bobby's bets, big Bobby bets, whatever. We'll
Ooh,
come
I
up
like
with
that
we'll come
one.
up with some kind of
Bobby
name
B's
for it.
bets.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Right.
come up with a name for it. But yeah,
But-
Jacob deGrom comes back from the IL, goes on IL, comes back. With someone as good as he is, I mean, yeah, you can be a little nervous, I guess, but there's really never any doubt when he's on the mound.
Yeah, no.
I just look at it as like starting pitchers usually ERA plays a big role with innings pitched.
Mhm.
Like it's gonna knock it way down when they go out there and throw a complete game or something. He's only pitched 51 innings in 6, where he's actually gotten a decision in 6 of his games. I
Right.
think he's only pitched in like 7 or 8, but his ERA is .71. That's reliever numbers,
It's
but as a
insane.
starter. Lowest ERA for a starting pitcher since 1964, I think MLB put up a couple days ago.
Wow.
And I just thought about that. I'm like, you can
Just-
talk about the ball was juiced, the ball is not juiced.
Yeah.
From 1960, that's gone through
Jacob
multiple
deGrom is
cycles
just
of-
juiced. Not actually.
Yeah.
He's just very good.
Yeah.
The other thing that stands out to me is his strikeout numbers. 81 Ks through 51 innings pitched. Like you said, those are like top of the line reliever numbers that he's putting up. And this dude goes 6 innings like every time he's on the
Yeah.
mound.
Yeah. And
Which actually, I wanted to bring up a point, like it kind of Jacob deGrom later because he's a starting pitcher. I've noticed more and more like 7-inning games are happening because of double headers.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a strategy not to have your starting pitcher pitch a complete game in a 7-inning game? Because like I feel like I don't know what game I was watching. I think it was one of the White Sox game. They were up like 5-0, and Lance Lynn was pitching.
Lance
He pitched-
Lynn came out. Yeah.
and
That
he
was a
pitched
Sox
5
game.
innings, and they took him out. And I'm like, but if you were up 5-0
yeah, why wouldn't you just go the other 2 innings?
in the 5th inning of a regular game, say you are playing 9, like you're at least letting him pitch 7. So it's like it's not like it's straining. I understand the whole. If it's 2-1
Right.
game, it's the 9th inning.
I think the
situation.
thought process is, I don't, for those 7-inning games, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 5 innings. You have to pitch 5 innings in order to be involved in the decision, correct?
I believe
If you
so,
don't
yeah.
pitch 5 innings, you can't get a win or a loss or anything like that.
I think it's 5 innings for every game. I think for
So
the
if
7
is
games,
it still 5 innings for the
I
7
think
games,
they
then they're
haven't
probably
changed it.
like, they probably view it as a way to get a quality start out of a pitcher, get him a decision, and save his arm. Especially if you have a 5-run lead and you only have to go 2 more innings, you might as well
Yeah.
play it like you have a 5-run lead going into the 8th.
Well, yeah, because isn't he pitching today? So he just pitched Sunday, and then now he's pitching again.
Yeah,
on
it's-
Thursday.
there's
so,
a-
I mean,
There's a strategy to it.
To me, it's just like I feel like it's more like with the Sox. Like they have a decent bullpen, but it's not deep and with like
Yeah, it's
experience.
spot. It's from
Like,
time to time it's spotty.
Liam Hendricks is probably your go-to guy where like in any
Always.
situation you're going to put him in. Crochet's good, but still young.
Right.
Kopech is, you don't know
He's
what's
on the
gonna
IL
happen,
now, but yeah,
what's going
he's
to happen with him. So it's like,
What you're saying is it's not the Cubs bullpen, the best bullpen in baseball. Just so you guys know. Just throwing
sure.
that out there.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and Ryan Tepera, player of the month, relief pitcher. Just letting you know.
Okay.
Glad to hear. Good
Yeah.
for the
But
Cubs.
okay, so like we'll even go with the Cubs. Like, say if you have like a lights out bullpen, like so Bobby's saying right now, lights out.
It's right now. It's like
That's what I'm saying. Right now.
I will say that right now.
Right
it's
now.
Like,
So like
Just right now.
if it's lights out top to bottom, I understand taking a pitcher out in the fifth because you're like we're just gonna use some bullpen guys, save the starter arm.
well,
But
yeah,
I'm looking at like the Sox where I'm like I'd rather save the bullpen arm for a situation where like you know, say a starting pitcher comes out in the fourth inning in the next game now, and you have to play all 9 innings.
No,
it's just like.
I would agree. I agree with your thought process. I would try and see if I can get my starter to go all 7. Obviously, if it's a close game,
yeah.
If it's a close game, you play it as
you
it's
play it
the
as
eighth
if it's a
ninth.
9-inning game,
Yeah.
and you go to the bullpen where you need to. But I do agree that those double headers are kind of if I were a manager, I would try and use them as a way to kind of rest my bullpen, especially my good bullpen arms. And
Try to push your starter.
if your starter's dealing, like Lance Lynn was dealing that game, he did not need to come out, but whatever. They decided to take him
Which
out. In
I don't
that
even know
situation, I would leave him in. See if he
Yeah.
can get the complete game for you. Save your bullpen arms. You don't need to bring someone in if you have a 5-run lead. Your pitcher's at a low pitch count through 5 innings, and he's looking unhittable.
Yeah, because that's one thing is like I under like a closing pitcher like Hendricks, how he was with the A's and now with the Sox. Like if it's a 1-run game, it doesn't matter if he's pitched the last 10 games in a row. He's still going out there in the 9th inning or the 7th inning to save.
He
the
wants
game.
to close out the game every
But
time.
in a situation where you're up by 5 runs, like he's definitely not going in. And really, your top 3 bullpen arms shouldn't because you don't know when you're gonna actually need them in a spot that matters.
Right.
So I just wanted to ask you guys because it just seems it's a weird thing because it's the 7th inning, but it's not it's 9th inning.
Right. And like we said, and this is still this is a new rule change. It started last year, I believe. The 7-inning doubleheader rule.
They
So
started
it's
last
still,
year.
I think we're still kind of seeing the different ways that managers try to approach it.
Yeah.
So we might see the way the White Sox did it with Lance Lynn, where you just treat it like a normal game, go to your bullpen where you normally would. I personally, and Nick, it sounds like you would also personally use it as a way to try and get some rest for your bullpen.
Yeah, for sure.
Not have to go to those guys.
Yeah, no,
so they can rest up, be ready to go for a full 9-inning game. Because like you said, if your starter gets rocked in a game and you have to go to the bullpen.
Yeah.
Which Carlos Rodon, the next game, got rocked.
I mean,
and then they had to go to their bullpen and we're using.
But he still got them through 6 innings that game.
Yeah.
He just gave up.
Yeah, but I feel like that was one of those
outings.
games where, say, Lynn finishes the whole game, 7 innings.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rodon comes out before the 6th.
Maybe.
I don't think he may, because it's like we're going to use.
And that's, you could be right on that. I think they still won that game.
That's just over managing, and it's done all the time, man.
Yeah.
I
knows
think
that big time. Joe Madden in the World Series.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure this isn't the last time this specific conversation has come up because we're not the only ones to talk about it.
Yeah.
For those who are familiar with John Boy Media, he also talked about that specific thing with Lance Lynn.
Yes, he did.
He's a big Lance Lynn fan.
Yeah.
He says Lance Lynn's his favorite pitcher.
Really?
Lance Lynn is fun. Lance Lynn is fun to watch because he's an aggressive pitcher.
I mean,
he'll pitch right. He'll throw right at you.
Yeah,
like
he
he's like,
kinda
I'm going to throw a
reminds me-
fastball, and it's going to go down the middle, and you're not going to hit it.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Bobby Jenks, like in a way, you know.
But as
a start, yeah,
He reminds
you're
me
just
more
saying
of,
that
like-
because he's a
bigger guy.
He's a bigger guy.
And
He reminds me
can
more
throw
of Mark
heat.
Burley, where Mark Burley was like, I don't care if you hit the ball. Like, I'm going to, like, I'm talking about Bobby Jenks. Lance Lynn misses more bats than Burley did for
Right.
sure. But Burley was like, I'm going to not pitch outside of the strike zone.
Yeah, he's going to make
Where
you
Lance
have to
Lynn-
swing the bat.
Lance
Lance Lynn's
like,
the same
I'm
thing.
going to throw strikes, but he's like, I'm going to try to overpower you too at the same time.
And Lance Lynn's a good pitcher. I was happy with that trade when it happened.
Yeah, no, he's been pretty good. He's been.
But yeah,
very,
so
very
this
good
this won't
year.
be the last time this conversation about
No.
how you
Yeah.
approach that 7-inning doubleheader.
I feel like it's going to change too when you get closer to the postseason when the rosters pick up where you have the 40-man rosters.
Mm-hmm.
And I can start seeing like the Rays where how they always used the opener last year.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to use the opener a lot in the 7-inning games because it's going to be like, I'm going to throw my closer out for the first 2 innings. And now you only have 5 innings left
We'll see.
to try to like, now your starter's only going 5 and he's pitching the last 5.
Yeah,
and
I'm sure there's plenty of different approaches to it. We'll see plenty.
Yeah.
Tampa is always creative with their starting rotation,
Yeah,
specifically that number 5 spot. So
I think La Russa was that manager back in the day. I think nowadays he's just kind of like, I'm going through my motions of being a manager. Like he's not changed. Like he was the first one that really pitched or hit the pitcher 8th And like that was a big change when he did that.
I did not know that. I know he's really the one credited with the closer, like the closing pitcher becoming a thing. He was really like the first guy to use like ninth inning specialists.
Wow.
Fun fact for those who didn't know.
I didn't know
So you'd
that.
think he would. So that would you'd be inclined to kind of think, oh, maybe he knows how to manage a bullpen.
No.
I think he kind of makes some dumb mistakes. Doesn't help his guys out sometimes. Just I think he's known to leave guys in too long, bring guys in at the wrong times, yada yada, whatever. Obviously, as a fan, I'm going to have my own opinions, especially when a decision he makes doesn't work. That's how we all are with everything.
Yeah. No.
But whatever. We'll see how all that goes. Otherwise, I mean, there's some hot rookies as well. Yermin Mercedes, 28-year-old rookie, starting to slow down a little bit. Adolis Garcia, he's on Texas, correct?
Yes.
He's on Texas. He's swinging a hot bat, especially 16 home runs so far.
Yeah. I think he's tied for first.
No, he's second or third now.
I want to say Acuna
and Vlad Jr. are both at 17.
Oh, okay. So he's in second.
And then Randy Arozarena, the postseason
a lot of people
hero
were mad
last year for Tampa.
Last year because he wasn't in that AL Rookie of the Year because it was just Kyle Lewis from Seattle and then Luis Roberts from Chicago.
Right, but he didn't meet the eligible. He's still rookie eligible.
He's still rookie eligible, and also like a big thing was he pretty much only played in the postseason.
Right.
So like the reason people knew him is because he was playing in the biggest state. Yeah.
Right. He was a postseason hero for Tampa. I mean, he had a huge postseason for him. What was it? He passed Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter's postseason record for most total bases in a postseason.
Wow.
Yeah. He had a very good postseason last year, kind of put him on the map for a lot of people. I think kind of to a fault now because the expectations for him are sky high for a lot of people.
So,
and it's hard to replicate that, especially he played in the postseason, which was what? We'll say he played how many games roughly?
No, 20
something games,
20
to 30
26.
games, we'll say, versus he's got to play 160 now.
And then if you do make it to the postseason.
So he's, those three, Yermin, Adolis, and Randy Arozarena, those are kind of the three big rookie names out there. Randy Arozarena's having the least impressive year so far out of those three. And like I said, it's going to come across that way because of how good he was in the postseason.
Yeah.
So naturally, his numbers are going to be like, people are going to be like, oh, he's slumping. He's not playing to his potential. But he's still really young. He's still a rookie. So,
well, that's like my thing. Like I put him in there, and like I know Bobby liked him when we were talking about it before, but like I put him in there more because like he's proven that he can play like when the pressure's high.
Yeah.
So where it's like he might not be having a great start of the season, but I think he'll be better towards the end.
Okay. Yeah, and Tampa leading their division, they're clearly going to be making a run again. So, yeah, I feel like he will definitely be better towards the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So out of those three guys, Bobby, who do you think is going to be? And then give us a little, like, what your ups are about him. Or
I want to say Yermin Mercedes just because of how good his bat is. If he could keep, I know he's slowing down a bit, but if he could keep it anywhere close to what it was at the beginning of the season, like he could be a monster.
Yeah. He's a hot power bat. He's mostly a DH. He's got to work on his discipline. He's a little trigger happy right now. He swings it a lot.
He's like a Javi Baez,
He likes to swing the bat, and you can respect it, but you have to do it like correctly. You have to be good at it. I'm gonna go with Adolis Garcia. He's starting to heat up now.
Yeah.
16 home runs, second in the MLB. So clearly he's got the pop in his bat. I just think, he shows that he can hit for average and not just be a home run guy. So many times we see home run hitters that are like hitting 250.
Yeah.
Where he's just below 300. I think with the way he's going, like I said, he's picking up, he's heating up now. It'll only, as he gets more at bats, he'll only get more comfortable and he'll kind of continue to grow.
Yeah.
So plus, he's not just a DH like Yermin Mercedes is.
Yeah,
and right now he's having a more impressive year at the plate than Randy Arozarena.
Yeah, because that's my I'm gonna pick Arozarena and just because you guys picked the other two. Because I was on Adolis Garcia, but I looked up his stats because he kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So in the month of May, 28 games. Over 28 games. 11 home runs and 27 RBIs for Adolis Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's not for a rookie. That's not you're not able to keep
No,
track for the
it's
whole
probably not
season.
sustainable. But
so what I'm looking at is a Rosarena. I feel like is going to have a great last half of the year.
mm-hmm.
And when I look at last year's Kyle Lewis stats, if you took the whole year, him and Luis Robert were like 1 for 1. It could have been either one, but Kyle Lewis won overwhelmingly just because it was the last half of the year.
Mm-hmm.
To where like I think Yerman's going to slow down. I think Adolis Garcia had an insane month.
Yeah, because that's like he put up no stats in April.
Yeah, so I'm like, if
much.
he goes to no stats for the last 3 months, and like, let's be honest, Texas is not a great team. So if they start to slump, your name's out of it. And then Randy Rosarena, they're in first place, so their name's going to be in it. And if he just has consistency through his last 3 months, I can see him jumping those two guys. Like
I think rookie of the year, they don't really take team performance and record into account as much as they do with MVP. But I get what you're saying. Obviously, at least his home run totals right now are not as a sustainable level.
Yeah,
but if he can continue to like hit for average like he is and throw a home run in there every so often, I mean, we talk about 30 home runs is a good season.
Yeah, and
he's over halfway there right now.
He that in 1 month. So
right,
if he just does that one more time.
You figure if he could float to like the 30 home run mark and stay around this 285 average he's at.
Yeah,
he should be definitely a name in the running for it.
Well, yeah, it's because like if you look at his stats, 16 home runs, 41 RBIs. So if you take out May, so like his before May totals were 5 home runs and 14 RBIs. Like that's okay for a rookie. That's kind of just what you expect.
That's still not a bad month.
Yeah, so it's like it's still good, but it's just like I feel like if he jumps up and then goes below that, it's like
Yeah, no, it's not a bad month. But how many months do they play? How long is an MLB season? How many months? April to...
I think August is the end of the regular season.
No, dude.
September.
No, like September, like it's the first week. And then...
it goes like all the way till October.
Does it go all the way through September?
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember. Because
like the first
so we're
week
going
October.
April, May, June, July, August, September. So you're talking 6 months.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're at 5 home runs a month, right? Like he was for April... Yeah. Those numbers, multiply it by 6, it's still a 30 home run season. I don't remember what you said his RBIs were, 14. 14 times 6. Who wants to do that quick math? Anyone want to do the quick
84.
math? Yeah, something 84.
There you go. That's accounting for you.
Yeah, so that's 84. That's still a good year.
Yeah. That's just like if he
had a really hot month.
If he can explode at the end, like say like his August or July or even September is this like that month, and he just flies like towards the top in home runs and RBIs again, I feel like it's hard not to pick him.
Yeah.
But just for me, I feel like out of the 3, consistency-wise, Rosarena gets that lucky. He's played more before. I'm gonna pick him as he's gonna be my pick to be AL Rookie of the Year.
I just want to throw an honorable mention there. Patrick Wisdom comes out of nowhere. Yanked 2 bombs yesterday because they called him up because
who is this?
He's a third baseman on the Cubs. They called him up, got a lot of injuries. Dude, cranks 2 home runs, man.
We're just talking to Bobby's like, hey, Cubs player that probably no one's ever heard of, but I know him because I'm a Cubs fan.
Watch out, man.
Look what happened.
Just letting you know. Watch out for him.
How many games has he played?
That's a good question.
2.
No, he's played more than that.
When a Mariners prospect, Julio Rodriguez, just hit 2 home runs for the Dominican Republic in their Olympic qualifying game.
Rookie of the Year.
Keep
an eye on him.
Not even in the MLB right now. He's still in the minors.
Keep an eye out.
Just watch out.
He's at 19 at-bats.
Okay.
Just
keep an eye on him, guys. He's heating up.
He's hit 4 home runs. All right.
No, that's cool. No, I'm not.
Don't be dissing my man.
Let's not throw him in with your mean Mercedes, Adolis Garcia, and Randy Rosarena right now.
Okay. Well, he's only had 19 at-bats, and if he hits another 3 home runs, tied for your Mercedes, just letting you know.
That's true.
No, that's fair.
It's gonna be like Chris Bryant's rookie year when he had 50 at bats and had 20 homers and 30 strikeouts. It was either a guaranteed strikeout or a guaranteed home run. You had nothing in between.
Hey, all I'm saying is I don't know where the Cubs are getting these players from, but
so did you build your team around him?
Would I build a team around him? I don't know about that. He's 28, but
he's got wisdom.
Your mean Mercedes is also 28. Yeah. I shouldn't say too much.
He's got experience.
No, but they're, kind of feeding off of this, right? Rookies, there's tons of young talent in the MLB and in really every sport now when you think about it.
Yeah, it's insane.
But there's always talking. They always call them a franchise cornerstone, franchise player, whatever. Someone you build everything around. So I was just kind of curious, like who in your mind, Bobby, is the one guy that you commit to him and you build your entire team around him in the MLB.
I would have to go Fernando Tatis Jr.
Okay,
Like,
that's a fair choice.
he's-
Former White Sox prospect.
Yes. He's
Traded
22
for
years
James
old.
Shields.
He won the Silver Slugger last year?
I think so.
Yeah.
Ah.
And
I'll look it up.
Did you do your research? No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
so he's 22 years old. He's a great fielder, has an insane bat. He's second in home
Yeah.
runs.
He's got to work on his fielding.
Yeah, but I mean,
No, but it's not bad.
like it's not bad.
But
and-
he could improve in the fielding aspect.
Yeah, but as a 22-year-old, like
No,
moving
he's got
forward,
plenty.
like
He's got plenty of room to grow. I'm not trying to say he's not a franchise player.
Yeah.
I want to be clear.
Tatis did win the Silver Slugger last year.
Okay,
for sure.
I just wanted to say,
exactly.
he could improve the defense a little bit. Is he still rookie? No, he's not rookie eligible anymore.
No,
I
he
think
was like a rookie in like
19.
2018, 2019. That's when he lost it.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I
but
forget. Honestly, sometimes all the seasons just blend into one.
Especially with last year. It's
Yeah,
like,
with last year,
what
60
even
games,
happened?
I'm just kind of like, dude, what was this, spring training? Sorry, we're like
But yeah,
interrupting you.
he's the type of person that you would want to just build a whole team around him, and that's kind of what like San Diego has been doing.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah,
he's definitely
so-
like the cornerstone for that entire rebuild.
Yeah,
They have a ton of talent though.
Yeah.
Manny Machado, they were able to sign him. They're no poor team. They went and got Blake Snell.
They have Drake Cronenworth, who's good, Trent Grisham, Eric Hosmer. Like
yeah.
you start,
Will Myers.
Yeah.
They have a good team.
They
right?
have San Diego has a very good team, very good future ahead of them as well.
Yeah,
they have
but
Austin Nola, the stud Seattle catcher. That he had like an Adolis Garcia type month, not that good.
Mhm.
And then Seattle traded him for a bunch of prospects, and now they have a guy named Tom Murphy who sounds like he shouldn't be a sports player, more like a sports writer for the Mariners.
Wow,
So like,
you're really gonna do Tom Murphy?
Yeah.
like
it's
that.
just he's a decent catcher, but like a name like Tom, like Fernando Tatis Jr. That's an MLB
that's
player.
an
Manny
MLB,
Machado,
well, no duh.
Jake Cronenworth, like Will Myers, like those, and then you got Tom Murphy. Like you expect him to be an MLB player, or you expect him to be like an MLB.
He's just saying it's a
sports writer.
plain name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's no.
okay, whatever. Where we're
Freddie
going with that
Freeman.
one.
Freddie Freeman. He's an MLB. player.
That's a pretty cool name.
Chris
honestly.
Bryant. That guy's doing your taxes from 9 to 5.
Dansby Swanson,
Yeah, he's got star power in that name.
star power name
Let's
right
go.
there.
But
Okay, so
San Diego does have a really good team.
yeah, Fernando Tatis. That's what you're
But
going
he's
with.
out right now.
Junior.
So I don't know what's going to happen with them.
It'll
They just got swept by the
Interesting to
Cubs.
see. So like,
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Cubs are really hot right now.
They are really hot.
because if they start tanking because he's out, you can even make the point more. Like Bobby's point more, be like, look, they don't even. There's a good team, and even they don't play as well.
Well, yeah,
without this
because
guy.
Manny Machado has been like a non-factor this year.
Yeah, he was a big.
Yeah.
He was a huge factor last year.
Yeah,
too.
and it's like
I-
it seems like Fernando Tatis has been picking up all that slack.
he definitely hides some holes for sure.
Yeah,
That's what great players do. He's got a very bright future ahead of him. Obviously, needs to stay healthy. 2 needs to keep developing, work on his defense a little bit. His bat's already there. I think he's like one of the fastest to 50 home runs
yeah,
in their
I would-
career, something like that.
it
Don't quote me
seems like he would
specifically,
be.
but
and he's younger than us.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, thanks, Bobby.
yeah,
Yeah, I know. He's playing in the MLB, and we're sitting in a garage recording a podcast.
Yeah.
talking about him who plays in the MLB.
Yeah, talking about him.
Yeah.
He's on the cover of a
Way to-
video game.
Way
What
to
have
put
you
us
done with
down,
your life,
Bob. Way to
Bobby?
put it. Get out of here.
I'm
Go.
just saying. Yeah.
Just go. Just go.
Just get out. Whatever. Okay, Fernando Tatis, very fair choice. Nick, you were mentioning another junior that
Yes, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Acuna Matata, right? That's his nickname in Atlanta, I think.
Yeah,
They
I
call
think
him
that's. I think
Yeah.
Freddie or Tripper Joe, like one of them,
Someone
like,
calls
called
him
him
that.
that
I'm not
like,
just-
in an interview, and like it
yeah.
just happened.
Yeah.
But like I always look, I feel like you need to go like either a shortstop, catcher, or center field, just
Mhm.
because they don't just impact themselves, but they impact the other positions.
right.
Because like Tatis controls what the infield does. A catcher is gonna like lift up your young pitchers,
Yeah.
but also like kind of can settle down the entire team. And then your center fielder has to know how to play. Like you're not putting a guy like not to pick on the Sox, but you're not putting like Eloy or Andrew Vaughn ever in center field.
No,
Like,
no, you're
Yeah,
not.
that
yeah,
completely,
he's
like, you're gonna go out
You're
and
not.
get a guy like Billy Hamilton or Adam Eaton if they weren't on your team.
Billy
just to-
Hamilton's playing really hot
but
right
I'm just
now.
saying, like,
yeah, I
you're
will-
going-
I will give that man credit.
Dude,
You're
oh my
going to get
gosh.
a guy like that just so that you're not a
I
defensive
get
line.
it.
Like you would have a guy go 0-15 in like 5 straight games, but he can play defense in center field.
Yeah.
But when you have a guy like Acuna who leads the league in home runs, can do everything offensively, and then defensively he's quick, he understands his position, and it's just like
No,
if I'm
he's,
picking a cornerstone, I'm picking a cornerstone in outfield because it's so impactful for games.
Yeah, no, you definitely need to be like the Rock, like in that center field. Like you pick up the slack from left field and right field.
Yeah, and again, he is only 23 because like Tatis is 22, Acuna is only 23. So I'm like,
Yeah.
there's guys probably in the MLB right now who I would pick to like be better right now. Like, but if I could have them like in their when they were 22, I would take them over Acuna Jr. But like for this point right now,
Mhm.
yeah, I think Mike Trout's a better player. But if I'm going to build a franchise for the next 10 years,
Yeah, no,
I'm starting
exactly.
with
I get
Acuna.
what you're saying.
And it's kind of like now we're seeing like exactly like how NFL is. Like now we're seeing that transition. Like it's going to be mostly younger players.
Yeah.
Like moving forward.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, though. Obviously, there's more established names that have accomplished more and are producing at the same level, if not
Yeah.
more, but they're
Albert
older. We're
Pujols,
going
he's
based on
still
like
hitting dingers.
starting today, you're building your franchise around
Yeah,
this
like
person.
we're going.
You're getting-
you got to
you're
go
getting-
younger.
An expansion franchise team, and you're for some reason
You get to pick one of
Rob
you get-
Manfred
they're like,
was
hey, you can pick
get one pick out of the entire MLB.
like they cannot be protected. You pick that person. I get what you're saying. I went with an outfielder as well. I went with Cody Bellinger.
Guy who just dislocates his shoulder celebrating in the World Series. That's who you want on your team.
Yeah. That's
Cody,
who we want.
listen, you guys.
Guy who's just like, oh
Cody
yeah, I just
Bellinger-
dislocated my shoulder.
Cody Bellinger, 24 years old, only a year old.
Wow, he's kind of old, man. He's getting up there.
Wow,
shut up.
dude. He's the same age as us.
He's
It's-
24 years old.
He's too old.
He has won Rookie of the Year. He's won an MVP. He's won a Gold Glove, and I believe he's also won a Silver Slugger. He's
won a World
already
Series.
what?
He's also won a World
And he's won a
Series.
World Series. He can play all 3 outfield positions. He can play first base as well. Not, no, I'm not even gonna say that. I was gonna say not that first base is challenging. It's a difficult position, but playing the 3 outfield positions, I think, is harder.
Yeah, I feel like you're making scoops at first. That's
So
really showing off.
Yeah,
But
apologize to Jose Abreu. All right.
I'm sorry, but
Sorry,
he's
buddy.
just
don't leave us.
Cody Bellinger is very good. He's got every
Yeah,
accolade
no,
you can
I-
want from him, right? Like I said, MVP, Silver Slugger, Gold Glove, Rookie of the Year. He's done all of those
Yeah,
things already, and he's only 24 years old. He's injured right now this year, which kind of sucks for LA. He's not been able to be a part of the lineup, but notice how they're also kind of slumping a little bit right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, so he is a
So
factor.
maybe there's something to be said about that.
And dude, he's 24, and it feels like he's been in the league.
Yeah, he's been in
for-
2017 was his rookie
Yeah,
year.
so he's been in the
He's
league.
been in the
for-
league since he was 20.
Gosh,
That's
2017 feels like it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, it feels
It's only
long
4.
time.
Yeah, he's been in the league since he was 20. I think 19 actually, I don't remember what his birthday is, but he was like 19 for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I just looked up if he won it. He did win a Silver Slugger.
Yep.
But when you type in Cody Bellinger, it comes up Cody Bellinger stats and then Cody Bellinger girlfriend and then a bunch of random stuff, and Silver Slugger doesn't show up. So I was like, oh, did he not win?
No,
But he did.
I'm
He did.
sure
I
won
put
a
in Silver. I
Slugger.
typed it all the way in, and yeah, he won one.
And he's already won a World Series, and he's definitely a big factor.
Okay, you could put me on the LA Dodgers. on
No,
winning the
don't
World
try.
Series,
Don't.
all
No,
right?
no,
Okay,
no.
like, if we
Can I put you
on-
as an everyday starting lineup guy? No.
If we put
No,
you on the
could-
Dodgers,
you could
yes,
put me in
you
as
could
Albert
probably win
Pujols,
that.
and
Well, that's
yeah.
different.
But if we trade you for
Are you-
Cody
but-
Bellinger, we put Cody Bellinger in that chair. The Dodgers are not winning the World Series.
yeah,
this
yeah.
year.
I mean,
But our podcast might blow up. I'll tell you what. This could be a career if Cody Bellinger was sitting in one of these seats.
So what you're telling me is,
hey, so you
Nah,
gonna
I'd
ask him to
take-
do all the video editing?
I would take Bobby as a podcaster over Cody Bellinger.
Thank you. Hey, thank you, Nick.
I got your back.
I said any of these.
Hey, you know what?
seats, all
Can
right.
you-
I wasn't saying specifically
Hey, can you
Bobby.
get out? This is a Nick and Bobby show.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I'll leave.
No, I'm just.
No, but hey, it'd be cool if Cody Bellinger was sitting in here.
Yeah, I mean,
If you want to come into a hot garage in the
Yeah,
middle of
nice,
Chicago
Warm
instead
Illinois.
of being in LA and
hey,
doing,
then people would be
doing up lifestyle.
typing in my name and then girlfriend.
Okay,
That's
sure.
a
Shut
good
up.
joke.
But like,
What
I feel
are
like
we doing
I
on
feel
this
like by us going
podcast
through
now?
all three of those, like you realize there's multiple names that are all like between 20
Oh
and
yeah,
25.
there's
or,
plenty
like,
out there.
all the maybe besides Yerman Mercedes and that rookie of the year, like you could honestly make sense by saying I want to build the team around a Rosarena
Right.
or a Dolis Garcia.
Yeah, no, there's plenty
Yeah.
of young guys. The MLB just seems to get younger and younger every
Yeah,
year.
it's
Maybe that's because we get older. Haha, knee slapper.
Wow, that's a good dad joke. You don't have a child, but that was a good one.
I hate you for that one. But
Oh, shut up. Don't be rude.
but yeah, no, you see it's like younger and younger, and it's insane. They just keep getting better and better, honestly.
Yeah, no, it's just we've said it enough. It's insane, right?
Yeah, and we're
how
talking
many
about
young we're just
multiple
beating
sports.
we're-
Like
we're
I'm
beating a
just-
dead horse
yeah,
here,
I'm
right?
just-
It's insane. Every sport, how young like what
we'll
are we
just-
talking about? Steven? What are we doing here?
We'll just move on to our next fact.
Yeah, let's just move on. We're just
Yeah.
we talked ourselves into a total like brain
NFL
fart.
top 100 list came out on the CBS one. Only 4 players from last year in the top 10 remain in the top 10. So like, yes, some of that's young players, but some of that's just moving around. But like, it just shows you how the league changes so quickly. Like, regardless of what sport it is.
Yeah.
I think Mahomes was number 1 last year and stayed number 1.
Yeah,
Remember,
I mean-
this is on CBS.
Yeah.
NFL.com had their own list. Lamar Jackson was number 1 on that.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, that surprised
They
me.
were like what? He was like 20 something on.
Yeah, he was. He
Yeah.
wasn't.
I think the NFL.com one is voted by players.
Oh.
yeah,
I
the
forget.
The
What-
CBS
yeah.
one is I don't-
CBS's sport is like Writers Associated Press.
It's one. I think one guy made the CBS one, and then everyone kind of debates on like, is he like, and then like,
Okay.
it lets analysts kind of like be like,
Yeah,
this is right.
I believe the top 100 players by the NFL is chosen by players.
Yeah.
They vote.
So okay.
Yeah.
So that's why that one
Which
is a
team has
little
the most
different. Because
players
I
in
remember
camp
when
right
I
now?
was looking at it, I'm like, yo, these guys are not looking at the same list. So that's why I want to clarify. CBS list.
Pete Prisco is the guy who does the list.
Pete Prisco.
Yeah.
Okay,
So he
Pete
doesn't have-
Prisco, guys.
So
if you have issues
I'll
with the
agree
list,
him for most of his picks. I'll say
I
he did a pretty
disagreed
good
with
job.
him on a couple of things.
But like, I feel like that's
But
like,
we'll get into that.
Yeah.
it's easier. Like when that players pick it, it's like, okay, now it's like, you don't really know
It's a
what.
popularity contest. when
Yeah.
that
So where it's like
happens.
when
Yeah, it
Pete Prisco
really
picks
is.
it's just like what he determines.
what
is
how he sees
views
it, how it works for him, yada yada. Biggest surprise on the list for me personally, this who dat nation's gonna come at me. I don't believe Michael Thomas should have even made the list this year.
I agree with that.
Wow, really? In the top 100, you don't think?
Listen, this is my opinion on the top 100. Since it comes out every single year, you have to base it strictly off of what happened that year. Michael Thomas was a non-factor for New Orleans. He had 51 catches or something like that. That was Julio Jones who only had 51 catches. He had his career low in every single receiving category. To me, he shouldn't have been on the list. And I don't remember where he was 55.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even
55.
put him.
Yeah.
Even if he was going to make the top 100 based on legacy, still based on how bad of a year he had, he shouldn't have been higher than like 90.
So what I
in my
saw
opinion.
was like
Yeah. No,
how
I
Pete
agree.
Prisco kind of like, I looked at some of the players, like why he put them there.
Mhm.
So it is based a little bit off last year. It's based a little bit off career in general.
Mhm.
But what he based mainly the list on is what he thinks for for the actual year that's coming up. Like he put Christian McCaffrey 21. He's like, if I would have made the list purely based on last year, McCaffrey wouldn't be in the top 100 because he was injured for so long. So he's like, I have to use all 3 aspects of their career. Like I can't purely pick what they did last year. I have to think of, is last year a sign of what's to come, or is last year just like a one-off for their
But
QB?
it just seemed like Michael Thomas had no factor like on that team.
Well, my
Like,
biggest
all-
problem was I put him in a snub is Michael Thomas because I don't think Michael Thomas should be so much lower than Julio Jones. I don't know if Michael Thomas.
I can agree with that because Julio Jones also had a
that's what I said,
bad
like,
year. So
Julio Jones was in the 20s and Michael Thomas was 55. I'm not saying that Michael Thomas was a snub at 55, but if Julio Jones is in like the mid 40s
Michael
to 50s,
Thomas. So
now I'm like, okay, I'm
Could-
happy with Michael
could we meet in the
Thomas's-
middle and say both of them should have been lower?
Yeah, I
Like
think
lower as in closer to 100, not closer to number 1.
if Julio Jones was like 55 and then you had Michael Thomas in like the 60s or like 10 back or something, I could see it. But by putting Julio Jones in the 20s, I'm like, you just opened up to Julio Jones was not great last year.
He had 51 catches.
Michael Thomas was not great.
No, they both had really bad
Ryan,
years. Injury related as well as Michael Thomas discipline related things.
Yes, that was.
But I just look at like Julio Jones had a more consistent person at quarterback. It was Matt Ryan the whole time, and he was consistent. Breeze was hurt, and then you had Winston and Taysom Hill for I'm not saying that completely
but this
factors
man
into him.
is making, I believe, the most.
He's the highest paid wide receiver.
Out of his
and when you get
position,
injured, you get injured. But when your coach suspends you because of your attitude and your behavior, that's completely different. Now, I get whatever Pete Prisco or whatever his name is saying about trying to balance it between those three factors. For me, though, these lists should only be about what did you do. This is the NFL's 2021 season top 100. Not the top 100 guys based off of what they did in 2019, 2020, 2021, and what they could do in 2022.
I think the only time
that's where I kind of disagree with how to make the list.
Like you can throw Dak Prescott mixed around because he got hurt. Like I'm perfectly okay with that. Like you can't go on last year because his stats would suck compared to every quarter. He should be like one of the worst quarterbacks. But
I see your point, but also I get why he mixes it in.
Yeah, no, I'm not I get it. It's just my personal thing is if you're going to put the NFL's 2021 season in front of top 100, you should base it strictly off of that season. And yeah, guys get injured and everything. And there's no doubt that Dak Prescott is better than certain guys that would make the list over him because of his injury. But you got to go off of the impact that they had for their team. Now, obviously, when it comes to injuries, you can make the case of, notice how once they were no longer like the starter for injury, whatever, the team just plummeted. Correct me if I'm wrong. Dallas wasn't winning games when Dak Prescott was starting.
No.
So nothing, and that's not to. I'm a fan of Dak Prescott. That's not to try and say that Dak Prescott's not good.
It wasn't his fault at all, but
Dallas was a bad team. Dak Prescott didn't have the numbers to back up something like that, so it would make sense if you left him out of the top 100 because of it. Do you get what I'm saying?
I sort of see it if you're solely basing it off of last year.
Right. Like if he was injured, so obviously he wasn't able to put up the numbers. Had he put up the full numbers, then you could say, yeah, look at all these numbers he put up, but he wasn't in there. You can't include people who didn't play over guys that did play. Just because this guy is a more established name, he has done it more.
Yeah, I see your point. I get it.
When did Prescott get hurt?
Week 4.
Week 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were, at that time, they were 1-2, and then they lost to the Browns. So they stayed 1-3. But I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago. I feel like Dak Prescott started off where it's like he could have.
No, that was last year. He was on pace to throw.
Last year he was on pace to do very well.
Yeah, so like that's where I come into like I understand like don't like bundle up Michael Thomas and like look at his whole career, but I'm like if you get injured like Christian McCaffrey did or Dak Prescott did, that should matter. And then if your main quarterback gets hurt, then you should, like Amari Cooper should not be penalized for having a down year because he had Andy Dalton thrown to him rather than Dak Prescott.
Yeah,
I feel like it's that factor where it's like
you have to give some
like
consideration.
Julio Jones had a bad year and did not really like he got injured, but he had a bad year and it wasn't. There was no extenuating circumstance.
I guess the Julio Jones thing is if he gets traded to another team, has someone else, and then has a good year.
But I feel like you have to base it on when he made that list, whatever team you're on. That like Aaron Rodgers is on Green Bay. You can't be like, but if he goes to Miami, he would be the number one. Like, no, you have to do it as what team he's currently on.
Yeah, but my whole thing was Michael Thomas. Even when he was on the field, he was not performing at a level that he should be performing at.
That as well.
That's all I'm saying.
That's why
I don't even think he should be in the 50s.
Like taking injuries out of it, I didn't think he was a factor at all while he was playing.
Well, I feel like now that I put on my list that Michael Thomas at 55. I should have put Michael Thomas being so far away from Julio Jones. That's really, I mean, I explained that, but like, that's kind of
I get what you're saying. But whatever. So we kind of have gone over how we think the list should be made, sort of. So Bobby, your biggest surprise?
Tom Brady at 4. I'm just saying biggest surprise from.
I mean, he had a good year, but I think that was definitely another legacy thing. But they did win the Super Bowl. So
this is a good way. I think he deserves to be at 4, but think about it going back a year. Did anyone have him? I don't think anyone put him in the top 10. I'm saying
I see.
Like, this is a good surprise.
Your
I think-
surprise is more not
So you're not
his
surpri-
ranking, but more how he performed and put himself at that
Yes,
ranking.
he did,
Okay,
'cause,
I thought
this
you were
time
going to
last
say that
year-
you were surprised he was so high.
No, I think he deserves this
Okay,
after the
okay,
season he
okay.
had. He
Now we're
won
on
a
the same
Super
page.
Bowl.
Now
I was
we're
on the
on-
same page as you. I was like,
We're on the same
surprised that
page
he's
now.
in the
I
top
was like,
five.
whoa,
Like,
wait a
what?
second.
But sitting back last year, I was thinking Tom Brady's washed up. He's too
He's
old.
done.
He's
It's
done.
over.
It's over. And
And then
then
you move to Tampa Bay.
come beginning of the season, you see he's not really putting up very good numbers.
He
Kind of had a
struggled
struggle.
at the beginning.
Then towards the end of it, he just has this amazing run, and I honestly, he deserves this ranking. I'm just shocked from last year where he was at.
Okay. Yeah.
to this
Okay.
year. You know?
Okay, that makes sense of it now.
Yeah.
I was ready to have to be like, dude, really?
No. Tom Brady
Okay.
deserves it. I'm Tom Brady fan after him leaving New England.
Same.
And
Once he left New England,
yeah.
I liked him a lot more.
I'm more of a fan of Tom Brady, but I still root for him I root against him in every Super Bowl because I don't like when
Fair
the
enough.
same quarterback. I like that Tampa Bay was in it because they had been there for a while, but I'm like, but it's Tom Brady. Like it's like
Right. No.
I mean,
you just put
yeah.
a different color on him and one of the colors that New England also
it's still
had. So I'm
Brady.
like,
It's
like,
still Tom Brady
still
in the
Tom.
Super Bowl.
Still
I get what you're
Thomas.
saying.
Yeah, no, I get you.
The only time I've ever rooted for Tom Brady was against Seattle the year they beat Seattle.
like the goal
And-
line stand, like that one when they
Yeah, when they
Okay.
beat Seattle and last year against Kansas City.
Yeah, I bet on Kansas City because I thought they would definitely win.
So you didn't win money on that one.
No, I lost
Really?
that one. Yeah.
We're just talking about how we're going to give you your
hyped
own
up so
betting,
much, and then you're gonna
your own betting
Hey,
segment.
listen,
and you're
listen,
going to admit to
listen.
your L. This guy, dude.
the
he's
big,
gonna
the
be
You're-
biggest stage in the
You're
world.
gonna be wrong. All
You're
right,
going to get us
Betty.
sued. But no,
you're gonna
it's
be
a done
wrong.
deal. Put your life savings in.
Yeah, you're gonna be wrong when you bet. All right, and
You
I
can't
thought
win
it
them
was-
all.
I thought it was a done deal. Patrick Mahomes was gonna win.
And then Bobby
Even
Sutton-
without the starting O lineman.
I didn't think that they would be that bad. Like,
Bobby, you're not helping yourself, man. You're not helping
But-
yourself.
I should have taken that into consideration more.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've
Now-
learned from your mistakes.
exactly.
And when
Now-
when Bobby's Big Bets comes to the show,
Yeah,
you
I'm-
better believe
yeah.
Bobby will do his research.
Tampa Bay makes it to the playoffs.
He won't lead you astray.
Actually, but if they go
Bobby's
against
like,
the Chiefs
"Put it
this
back."
year,
Actually,
and
but
with their offensive line, I'm gonna bet on the Chiefs again. I'm just saying that.
Oh man,
oh boy, a
The-
ruh-roh.
If we have a repeat, Kansas City's winning it
What is
because
the-
they have.
what is the definition of
Insanity?
Insanity.
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a
No.
different result.
They have a different offensive line, which is way better than what they had. All right.
We'll see if they're healthy.
Yeah, if they're not healthy, then yeah, of course.
Ba-
go
basically,
Tampa Bay.
to sum up, Bobby's going to do his research more, and
Yeah, when
and
when
he's going to
five
take into
starting
account
O-line-
the missing starting O lineman if that ever happens. But I will say, for the most part, Bobby does hit on his bets for the
Thank you.
NFL.
Thank you.
But we'll wait. Once Big Bobby's bet or Bobby's big, whatever we decide to call
Yeah.
it. Once his betting segment comes in, you guys open up that wallet. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Maybe
Hey,
FanDuel will even give us our own promo code.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
but don't
that
blame
one,
me
man.
if I'm wrong. All right?
But it's
I take-
listen. We don't take any responsibility.
I am not
It's
a
your money.
professional.
You have
yeah,
to
it's
make
your
the
money. I
decision.
don't tell you how much.
All
to
we
bet,
do is
all right?
tell you how we would spend our money, and that we.
And I choose to keep mine in my pocket.
Yeah, it's basically Bobby saying this is what he would spend his money on.
Yeah.
No shame,
And
no harm, no
you
foul.
can spend however
You
much
can
money
choose to
want.
listen to that advice on your own accord, or you can just ignore it. But whatever, we're
Yeah.
kind of starting to digress a little
Yeah,
bit.
I'm gonna go back to my big surprise.
Yeah,
from this
Yeah,
Nick,
list,
your
what's your
biggest
big-
surprise.
is also a quarterback. I don't know if I'm surprised of where he is. I don't know if surprised of where he is in quarterbacks. It's Josh Allen at 10.
Okay,
He's first of all, he's in the top 10, which like when you think about it, saying Josh Allen's a top 10 NFL player out of all the NFL players, it's kind of like weird to say. But also,
I was a fan.
he's the
Yeah,
fifth best quarterback, and like I'm like thinking about, I'm like, who would I put ahead of him? I don't really know. Like Mahomes is better, Rodgers is better, Brady's better, and he has Russell Wilson at 8, who's better. And I'm like, I could almost argue maybe Josh Allen being better than Russell Wilson,
You
not
could,
career wise.
you could argue him sliding in and being better than Brady. Honestly, like it's an argument.
I'm like career wise. Obviously, you put
No
Wilson.
comment from me.
You
No
put Wilson
comment.
up against Josh Allen, and Wilson dominates him. Same thing with Brady. But it's just this list just should
He had a
be about
very
the
good
the
year.
next year. And a couple weeks ago when I talked about my big game, it was Kansas City versus Buffalo because I'm like, I think if Josh Allen beats Patrick Mahomes, That's going to be the new quarterback competition against those two guys.
Dude, he's a top 5. I would say he deserves a top 5.
No, that's
Top
what
500 or top 5 quarterback?
Top 5 quarterback.
I could agree.
Yeah.
Especially after last year.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm going to stick to my whole taking into account only last year, definitely.
Okay, last year, looking at it, who do you think
Excuse me.
was better, Brady or Allen?
I think regular season wise, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen better. regular
It was
season
Patrick
guy.
Mahomes than Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna,
Josh Allen was thrown in that MVP conversation for a while.
Yeah, he was.
Josh Allen had a
win.
very good year, and I think him being the number 5 QB was sort of that legacy thing versus Wilson. And
Yeah,
Brady.
I get that, but
and obviously we're not saying Josh Allen is a better overall quarterback throughout his career than those two guys.
I'm
This
just
is
saying.
But when you
last
take
year
into
and
account
going into
last
next year.
year,
And
he
I
was
mean,
the better quarterback.
It just
I think you look at it right. Like
he has
same thing we were
size,
just
arm
saying.
strength. There's a lot of traits that.
Yeah,
that
but
would
then
be-
again, Brady won the Super Bowl. So,
Yeah.
But like
you
that's
know,
the whole thing we're
this
talking
and
about
that.
right
And
now.
he didn't. They did lose to who did they lose to? Ravens?
Bills.
No,
The
they
Bills
lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Yeah, they lost to the Chiefs.
Conference
Duh.
championship game.
Duh.
But
Sorry,
I'm just
but-
looking at like now when you talk about Brady and like Wilson, like who would you take right now? Even put Drew Brees in that thing, you take Josh Allen to lead the team. But if you're
He's
taking
younger.
if you're taking every single person in their prime, I think you take Josh Allen last out of all 4 of those guys.
If I'm taking one guy for one season, I'm going to take Brady. But if it's to build my team around, I'm going to take Josh Allen.
Well, I'm just talking about like the future. Like,
I mean, yeah, because he's young. But I'm just saying.
even for the next year, if I can take Brady, Wilson, or Allen for like the next year, if I could put any quarterback, I think I might take Josh Allen out of all 3 of those. Just
Dude, if the Bills had a run game, they honestly could have beat the Chiefs.
they had LaShawn McCoy.
Like if they had a no,
not last year.
Not last
No,
year.
no.
Yeah, in his heyday, yeah. But
I'm
They
talking.
didn't
I'm
even
talking.
have him in his heyday.
I'm talking Philadelphia
what?
Eagles.
They
LaShawn
didn't
McCoy.
Yeah, his heyday was in Philly.
yeah, I know that. But I'm saying
They
you
had
bring
Frank
in
Gore. No, wait, Frank Gore was in New York.
Yeah, dude, he was
Still-
that was 2 years ago. He's on
Bro, I told you these seasons all just blend together. For
They
me.
had,
my bad.
Singletary. Yeah, and and he was supposed to have a breakout year, and he didn't. Like,
Yeah, he was just kind of.
yeah. It was, meh.
Fair enough.
But,
So, your biggest Nick. We kind of went over your biggest snub,
Yeah,
with the Michael
I
Thomas
feel like,
thing.
yeah, we already
so I'm
covered
just
that
going to
one,
kind of
so.
ignore you. No, I'm kidding.
That's fine. I'll just chirp into your guys because
Yeah, just yeah.
I'm
So
going
Bobby, your biggest snub
another
for
wide
the top 100?
receiver, OBJ at 81.
Okay,
Too high, too low.
Dude, way too low.
what's a snub? Obviously,
Come on.
He
Well-
was snubbed. Should have
Oh yeah,
been
that's
lower.
all right. I forget. Yeah.
Like, okay.
Snub should have been even worse. He snubbed me out.
Like, I get it. He's coming off his ACL, but you're assuming he's going to be healthy. He's going to
Mhm.
play. But, okay, if you're putting, again, Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, and then OBJ all the way at 81, like,
Yeah.
come on. Like, he deserves to be
Have some
by
respect
that
there.
50 spot. Like,
Yeah, if you're gonna put the other guys up there, he should be
Yeah.
up there too. I get what you're saying.
yeah. But I guess I get it with the ACL, but
Yeah.
I think he should be, like, closer to 50. Like, not.
Mhm. I get what you're saying. My biggest snub, I'm going to sound kind of like a Homer Bears fan here, but I think this is a legitimate snub. Roquan Smith not even making the list.
I'll give you credit there.
Okay, I'm going to come out and say it. I think Roquan Smith should have been an all-pro, and the fact that he wasn't was kind of BS to me.
You're very upset about this still.
Well, I'm just saying, when you break it down, it was Fred Warner, who's the dude, Bobby Wagner, and I don't remember the third guy that were all...
TJ Watt?
No, TJ Watt
Oh,
was
yeah,
an edge
yeah,
rusher.
yeah.
Fred Warner, Bobby Wagner. I don't remember. Probably Darius or what is it? Darius Leonard on.
On the Colts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty sure those were your 3 all pros. Roquan Smith led all of them. He beat all of them in tackles. Beat all of them in tackles for loss. Beat all of them in tackle percentage, which is the percentage of tackles you make versus miss.
Yeah, but
right?
then again, that goes with the thing that it's voted in.
What?
Isn't it voted in?
All pro? It's chosen by the Associated Press.
Okay. No, I'm thinking Pro Bowl.
No, not Pro Bowl. All pro.
Oh, Pro
I'm
Bowl.
gonna make a comment, and I don't know if you're gonna agree with me or not. It's gonna sound crazy, but then just let me explain it. Khalil Mack hurts Roquan Smith, but not on the field when it comes to voting something. Because when you think of the impact that he makes, people degrade his stats by saying, "Well, it's because they have to put so much attention on Khalil Mack." that Roquan Smith
it's a little.
better.
I don't necessarily agree. Maybe if he was,
I'm not saying it's true, but
maybe
I'm
if he was an edge rusher, that would help.
But I'm saying
help
it's
him
like
more,
when
but-
it's like, oh, Roquan, like take Khalil Mack out, he's not going to be as good as he is. I still think he's going to be just a star.
I still think Roquan Smith's one of the best linebackers in football.
I mean,
I
agree
could be
with you.
you can make me a Packers fan. I'd still think it.
But it's just that thing where it's like it's like
It's just
Khalil Mack demands so much attention that of course like other linebackers are going to be better.
it just
that
like
the
Roquan.
other guys get more votes.
Oh yeah, but look at what's his name?
Fred Warner in San Francisco.
Like-
He's got one of the best defensive fronts in front of him.
Yeah, I know. I
Exactly.
think it's just Khalil Mack garners that attention to where like
It just
it doesn't hurt. Like Roquan Smith is still, I think he would be a stud on whatever team he plays for, just because he knows football and he's a hard nosed player. Like he belongs on the Bears, just the way they play, and he's good wherever he would go. But I feel like some people are just like, oh, of course he has good stats. He plays with Khalil Mack, and they just kind of be like, that's how they justify not putting him as an All-Pro.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Bro, he should have made
he should have made the cut.
out
yeah.
of those 3 All-Pros who were all on the list.
Yes.
Roquan Smith had better stats. He was statistically better than all of them.
Yeah,
I think the
for
only
him not to
person
be in
who
the top
led him
100.
in a higher stat was Bobby Wagner. Had more fumble recoveries, but fumble recoveries is kind of just a luck of the draw thing.
yeah.
Forced fumbles is different. Forced fumbles, you force those.
Yeah.
But fumble recovery, you could just be in the right place at the right time. The ball bounces your way.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say,
Roquan
like,
Smith, better numbers than all of those guys.
I just think
Doesn't make all pro, doesn't make top 100. There were like 7 linebackers in this top 100. Roquan Smith, in my opinion, is a top 3 linebacker.
I think so. Like the only thing I argue with All Pro for, I could see Bobby Wagner getting voted before him, just because Bobby Wagner is that Seattle defense. Like when you look at a guy, so I'm like okay, so like
yeah, what Seattle defense or defense?
No, I'm
was
sorry,
they
but
had
I'm
the
saying,
worst
like,
defense.
I'm
Yeah,
saying if
it's
Roquan
like-
Smith, his stats are slightly better than Bobby Wagner, but you
They
give
were
it to
much
Bobby
better,
Wagner,
not slightly.
I can see that. But I'm like, I don't understand how he doesn't beat anyone. Like
Roquan
deserves-
Smith should have been all pro. At the end of the day, it to me, dude, I get kind of like pissed off talking about
No,
it. 'cause it's
I
like,
get it. I get it.
I view it as super disrespectful to Roquan Smith. Because, like I said, I may be a Bears fan, but you can make me a Green Bay fan and it wouldn't change my mind.
It's
But
Because when you see legitimate talent at a position, you respect it. I
Yeah,
hate
and-
Aaron Rodgers with a passion, but is he one of the best quarterbacks to play football?
yeah.
Yes. And Roquan Smith, in my opinion, top 3 linebacker. He makes tackles. He always is leading one of the top tacklers in the league. First off, how does a guy who leads the league or leads all linebackers in tackle for loss not even make top 100 when 7 other linebackers made the list? How do you justify that? And he had more tackles than all of them.
Where is he
really-
on the player voted list? He's
Once I realized we did CBS, I stopped looking for
Okay.
it. I'm pretty sure he didn't make that list either.
Yeah, but
He's slept on, and whatever. Let him be slept on. He's
Yeah.
still one of the best linebackers
It's-
in football.
Yeah,
It
they
just
picked up his 5th-year option, so obviously he's going to be playing even better because he's playing for a contract.
it
So
just bothers me.
don't
Like,
worry,
it bothers me.
he will be in the top 100 next year.
No, probably won't. But the way if he couldn't make All
Yeah.
Pro, being better than the other 3 guys that made All Pro, how is he gonna? It's bullshit, man. I'm just gonna say it.
I get
I'm heated about it. All right,
It- it-
I'm heated about
we'll
it.
turn the
'cause-
page to another subject. We got
Yes,
Aaron
another
Rodgers.
subject that-
We got more Aaron Rodgers stuff.
Yeah, Green
So,
Bay talk. I
yeah.
love Green Bay. I love watching them burn right now.
Yes. So Green Bay has come out and said they are not trading Rodgers. They will not trade him.
okay, but that's I mean, that's now. Like I've always said, every time we talk about NFL, we are so far away from the start of the season.
Yeah.
Things will change. I understand their point now is not trading him, but also why would you trade him now? You're probably getting the least amount of value for him right now. Like, 'cause,
Well, I
like-
mean,
like your
the longer and longer
organization looks like a dumpster fire, so teams are gonna lowball you.
Yeah, but the longer and longer you wait, and the more it's looking like he's not going to play, it's just going to only go down. Honestly, at this point, your best point would have been trade him before all of this news even
Yeah,
broke. That
that's-
would have been your best time to trade him. So it looks like they're
my whole thing that I heard and I thought about, and I'm like,
Mhm.
that's kind of weird. But Rodgers retires for this. I don't understand why you would retire, but like, I don't know if that goes any money wise. I'm not.
so he just sits out.
So like, he retires this year and then comes back. I feel like as soon as that happens, you lose. Like, Green Bay can't let that happen. Where they say they don't want to trade him, But if it comes to he's going to sit out for a year, you have to trade him before he sits out because he's going to lose so much value by sitting out a year.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think he really will because he did just put up the MVP season. So my whole thing is, if it comes down to it, he will sit. If he really doesn't want to play in Green Bay, he'll sit. He doesn't need the money.
That's my biggest thing is the money.
And then
because I feel like
he'll
some
sit,
like
dude.
players
He doesn't need it.
Players who are pissed off at an organization will be mad at the organization and still play when they need the money.
When they need it. He doesn't need it. He can retire. Dude, he could sit and host Jeopardy.
Yeah, for a year and then
do
come
the State
back.
Farm commercials, host Jeopardy.
He can sit. It's
probably star in a movie like with LeBron or something like that. Space Jam 3.
Yeah, I mean
NFL comes to town.
They're really just headlocked right now. It's
I think Rodgers is going to win this one.
Yeah, I think Gutekunst
I think he's going to win.
Yeah, he's out of his elements.
Gutekunst doesn't stand a chance against Rodgers, man.
That's what I want to, because I know me and Bobby talked about this. You weren't here last week, and Bobby was bringing up a point about how he doesn't know how the shareholders work because technically Green Bay is a publicly owned company.
Right, they're publicly owned.
So I did some research over the week, and I found an article from Sports Illustrated from 2018. So Packers shareholders, which actually you can't buy any shares at the moment right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like I don't know how they do it or whatever. So Packers shareholders vote to elect Green Bay's board of directors and a 7-member executive committee, and then that committee and board of directors represents the team at league meetings.
Okay.
But also, individual shareholders have absolutely no say in team decisions, football or otherwise. Like they can't change the colors, they can't change the name, they can't change anything about it. It's just those people
voted. The 7 voted in.
So that's what we were talking last week. Like, do you have to send out in the mail to every shareholder? Like, do we keep the GM or fire him? Apparently not.
Yeah.
It's like less than 10 people are deciding.
So those 7 people would be the final say if Gutekunst gets fired, basically.
Oh.
Because Rodgers said that he doesn't want to be there unless
kind
Gutekunst
of clears
is gone.
up to because me and Bobby were talking last week. We're like, can this even happen in time? Like, even if you started today trying to vote out Gutekunst on this publicly owned company, could you do it? I found out now it's less than 10 people.
I feel that
can get done.
Now it's more likely. Give it a couple more months and push comes to shove. I think those 7 people will be like, well, obviously, it's either a season without Rodgers or we get rid of Gutekunst.
Do they believe in the LaFleur and Jordan Love tandem, or do they? That decision will tell you everything about what that board of directors.
It doesn't look like anyone is.
No, I know, but that decision will tell you everything about what that board of directors thinks of the whole LaFleur and Jordan Love thing.
Yeah.
It tells you that'll tell you who they value more. Because if they go with Rodgers, then they are basically saying, all right, our GM's a bum. We could do, there's not, okay, that was harsh. But they're saying Rodgers is more important than the GM. And they're basically saying that they don't believe that LaFleur picked the right quarterback to replace Rodgers. So now they have doubts about his ability to evaluate a quarterback.
But
has it been proven that LaFleur made the move to trade up?
Oh, dude, he was creaming his pants about it when it happened.
Well, but if you're the coach and all of a sudden your GM comes up to you and says, we just moved up in the draft, who would you want? And you wanted Jordan Love where you were. And you were like, well, I wanted Jordan Love. And you just leave it at that. And then the GM picks Love. Is that really your fault as a coach?
No.
Or you're just like, hey, man, I thought we could have got Jordan Love.
You're at fault. You're at fault a little bit if you wanted Jordan Love and as a coach, you said he'll be there when we pick at 30 or whatever their pick was, that draft. And your GM is like, well, you want Jordan Love. And you say, yes, I want to draft Jordan Love. And he feels he needs to trade up for him. You're still responsible.
Yeah.
You didn't make the trade, right? But if you told your GM that that's the quarterback of the future that you want, any GM in their right mind is going to make sure they get that guy.
Yeah, but they ate their words on Jordan Love the minute they offered him an extension. Like the minute you're extending Aaron Rodgers for another
they offered Love an extension.
No, they offered Aaron Rodgers an extension.
No.
So now you're extending him for probably 4 plus more years.
So maybe they're like, oh crap, we shouldn't have drafted Jordan Love
because clearly he has. If you're going to extend him for another,
and I get what you're saying, but to Nick's point, though, both the GM and coach are still responsible for that.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I think I was more so Gutekunst because it seems like Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers have had a good relationship.
It could have been more Gutekunst, but I seriously doubt that your new head coach 1 year, or who's been your head coach for 1 year at that point,
Yeah.
just was like, you didn't like go to him at all and go, hey, what are you thinking of? I find it hard to believe that LaFleur was like, I want us to draft a wide receiver. And then the GM's like, well, we're trading up and drafting Jordan Love. I seriously doubt you're doing that unless you're not planning on keeping that coach. Then you're looking at something similar to when Ryan Pace traded up for Trubisky. He didn't listen to what, what's his face? John Fox said, because he was like, John Fox isn't going to be my coach at the end of this next season.
Yeah.
So if your plan was to go forward with LaFleur as your long-term head coach, he was definitely involved in getting Jordan Love.
Yeah, no, I get that, but it seems like for the most part, Aaron Rodgers and him are on
they
good
probably,
terms.
I'm sure they get along,
So-
although who knows? Maybe they actually don't.
Yeah, I mean, they could not.
Honestly, all this stuff blew up. Like it came on pretty suddenly. If you ask me,
Yeah.
on draft night, it was suddenly like he doesn't want to be back.
Yeah, but I think Bobby was making a point. Was it last? Yeah, I think it was last week that Aaron Rodgers' interview, he said he loved the coaches. So I feel like you wouldn't say I love the coaches and hate Matt LaFleur. Like you would say I like the coaches
Right.
except for LaFleur. And
No, I
upper
get it. And
management.
I'm conceding that Gutekunst may have led the charge on Jordan Love, but I don't think that LaFleur had no say in that.
Yeah, I'm
decision
not
at
saying
all.
he's not completely guilty, but I'm just saying it seems like Aaron Rodgers has no problem with them. 'Cause
Yeah,
why would you come out and say I want Gutekunst gone and I'll come back?
yeah.
He would
yeah.
say
No, and
I want the whole I want
agree
everything
with that.
gone.
Like,
Yeah, I want
like I
everything
said,
gone.
I was answering Nick's question about is the coach or the GM responsible for given that trade
Yeah.
scenario.
No,
And I was just saying they're both involved. In the
yeah, they're
decision.
both at fault for
But
that. And
whatever. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to eventually win that. Whether and winning that can be they get rid of Gutekunst or they trade him.
yeah,
Either way, I
I'm-
think he's going to be the one who walks away on top of this feud.
I'm looking at it as say they even get rid of Gutekunst. There's going to be a certain point this summer when Rodgers has made his decision that he's
Yeah.
not going to play.
He's
so,
not
like,
gonna. He's gonna be like, no.
I'm saying like end of July, if all of a sudden they're like, okay, we're getting rid of Gutekunst for bringing in such and such guy. I feel like at a point Rodgers is gonna be like, no, you pissed me off enough. I'm still not playing.
It's over.
I'm
Like,
still gonna sit out
there
here just to
is.
spite you.
I'm sure there is a date in mind for him, or like a timeline where he's just going to be like, all right, and that is the line in the sand. It's
Yeah.
over.
yeah,
But whatever, we'll see how that all plays out. That's not the only saga going around right now. There's the Julio Jones sweepstakes.
as we do. Atlanta has came out and said that they are willing to take less, a hard second round pick, to avoid paying him his $38 million that they have to pay him. Yeah,
I
that's
think
insane.
I think they're getting to the point where I think they think that the Matt Ryan Julio Jones combo isn't going to get them over the hump to get a playoff win.
Well,
So it's like we're
You
going
got-
to save that money. Like
They got him to a Super Bowl.
I mean, but you got Matt Ryan's going to be making 41 mil,
They
and
need
then
they
you
need
have
the cap space,
Well,
dude.
yeah, but
Julio
it's like-
Jones making 38. Like that's
they're going to get rid of Julio
that's
Jones and
over-
have cap space to try to move and do
that's
stuff.
it's half of your cap space almost on two players. So like they
Yeah.
have to deal him.
They need to deal him. I
Yeah.
think I know there's all kinds of rumors. The Rams, Baltimore, they were never serious contenders. They didn't have anything.
No,
to
they didn't have
offer.
the cap room. But
They were just because those are two teams that could use a wide receiver. They always throw them out there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of buying the Tennessee Titans.
yeah, they seem likely.
I think that or Seattle are your most likely, but
Yeah.
I'm going to lean Tennessee on this one.
I think that, but there is a name that I said last week that has not been thrown out there at all. The Colts. I don't
That's
know
what
why they
I
haven't.
like them.
I
too.
don't know why they haven't been trying to make this move. They have the salary cap.
Yeah,
They
dude,
could-
I don't know the Colts.
But
I thought
sometimes
the
those-
Colts. We thought the Colts were going to get Kenny Galladay, and they didn't.
Yeah, but it
We
seems
thought they were
like
gonna do- they
they
who
said
knows? They
it-
might have a completely different plan than
Yeah.
what all of us think. they
Also,
should have.
sometimes you don't hear about like a team, and then all of a sudden that team gets
They
them,
just
and,
come
and
out
you're
and
like,
boom,
you're baffled.
Bears
that
with
that even
Khalil
happened.
Mack.
Yeah, so
Never
it's
even
like-
mentioned in the rumors. You're like, oh crap! Wait
Yeah.
a second.
So all of a sudden you're just gonna
It
have
happens.
It's gonna be like a day that when he gets traded, if he goes to Indianapolis, it's gonna be like Julio Jones, like Adam Schefter. Julio Jones is going
Yeah,
to the Colts.
I
Everyone's
think
gonna-
they could be a serious
bind
contender
explode.
because they have the salary cap.
I
that
can
but
get behind that. I'll
the-
say Tennessee obviously is the most open about their interest in it. I
Yeah.
think they're going to be the most aggressive. But I would say Indianapolis is more likely than Seattle. At least, yeah, I'll agree.
Yeah,
I think it's more
Seattle's
likely.
tough.
They don't have cap space.
They really don't have the cap space. But if he did land there, that would probably be the best spot for Julio Jones.
I think Tennessee.
See, Ryan Tannehill is
Right? No, come on, don't disrespect
I'm
him.
not
Now. We're going on 2
disrespecting-
years of this with
I'm
Tannehill.
not disrespecting the man, but
I don't like Julio Jones in Tennessee for the simple fact is Derrick Henry is Tennessee. Like,
yeah, he's gonna be.
But
good.
think about what that Tennessee offense becomes. Derrick Henry.
too many cooks for me. And there's too
I don't
many.
think
And Dalvin
so.
Cook doesn't even play for the team, but there's too many. Cooks in
Don't
that
get me
kitchen.
wrong. Yes, I can see doing good, but you're depending a lot on Ryan Tannehill, and they're going to be running the ball 30 plus times a game.
But not necessarily. If Julio Jones,
Dude,
AJ Brown,
You're not going to not run Derrick Henry 30 times a game.
that is an offense that to me is very difficult to stop. Like, what do you do to stop it? Because if you're gonna load the box, now you have Julio Jones who's going to be able to beat whoever you put on him. AJ Brown is going to be able to beat whoever you put on him.
Yeah, no, I
forget who their tight end is.
I think anywhere he will end up out of the trade.
You looked at me like
their tight end just left and signed with
Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, he just signed with New England.
Yeah.
Either way, dude. If he ends up on Tennessee's winning that division.
I feel like any team that he can land up on right now, either be Tennessee or Seattle, it's good landing spots for him. And I feel like he could honestly deserve that number 20 ranking that they gave him on the top 100.
Well, he could deserve. Maybe he earns it for 2022, but
yeah.
But we won't get back.
Yeah, we won't.
No,
we're
not going to get back into that. So you're saying Indianapolis?
I'm saying watch out for Indianapolis. I don't know why.
What is the most likely landing spot in your opinion?
The most likely landing spot, as of right now, either Seattle or Tennessee.
Pick one.
Man, dude, get off the fence, dude. You're flip-flopping
I'm going to have to
around.
go to Seattle, but
Seattle.
I'm saying watch out for the Colts.
I say Tennessee. Nick?
I can see him going to Indianapolis.
Okay.
Just because they have that defense. Like, Atlanta wants a defensive piece in the trade. And Indianapolis, I feel like, would be like, hey, yeah, you can have a defensive piece for us.
Yeah, but now it's like, dude, you give him a second-round pick and maybe a couple late-round picks.
Ultimate steal if you can get
yours.
that.
Yeah.
No, I know, but like
I still say Tennessee.
Say Seattle throws out picks, and then Indianapolis has a second-round pick and a defensive player who's going to be an everyday player. I find it hard pressed that Atlanta's going to be like,
you think that? So you're saying Indianapolis can make the best offer?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
okay.
if Indianapolis
Yep.
gets word
Fair
of an
enough.
offer and they're like, oh, that's all they're offering. Okay, I'm going to throw in a second-round pick and just a defensive starter,
And it's just
then
like-
bam, it's going to flip over to that.
That's a fair assessment. I get what you're saying there. I'm sticking with Tennessee. I think Tennessee is a good spot for them.
Yeah, I do too.
Indianapolis is a good spot. Seattle, I don't see them affording it.
Yeah.
But whatever. Got a whole offseason. Well, it'll be fun to follow the whole time.
Yeah, but
I think Julio Jones is going to happen sooner than anything with Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers.
I mean, like Julio Jones is honestly worth that first-round spot, like first-round pick.
Yeah, and if you can get him for less, that'd be huge.
So it would be a steal for whoever lands him.
We'll see. We have the whole offseason. But right now, we got NBA playoffs going on.
Yeah, I know. We're kind of running out of time. I was just going to run through.
Right. I was going to say, just run through it, and then let's
everything.
hit our little mini debate we were kind of thinking about.
Okay, so we'll start in the West. Utah's up 3-1. So
They lead Memphis 3-1.
Yeah, game 5's tonight. So we'll see what happens with that. LA and Dallas are tied 2-2. Game 5 also tonight. So that's a tough series. Like that's not going to end.
Yeah,
soon.
me and Nick did discuss last week. We both thought that Dallas was going to run away with it, but clearly they're not. Hopefully things will change with this game tonight.
All right, so then the last two games, they're both happening tomorrow for the West, is Denver's up 3-2 on Portland, and then Phoenix is up 3-2 on LA. And then also
Lakers.
like LA. That's why I hate the LA teams, just because there's two
Clippers
of
and Lakers. Dallas versus Clippers, Suns, Phoenix
First.
versus LA Lakers.
Yeah.
But the Suns will not have Chris Paul, so
They're going to be without Gordon.
them. Oh, Gordon Ramsay. No,
Cooking it
Gordon.
up.
yeah.
No.
So you don't know if
We'll see.
All right,
And then
it
in
could
the
be-
East, Atlanta is leading the Knicks 3-1. Knicks were a team a lot of people thought were
Yeah.
going to do some damage.
Game tonight, so it could be the next last game tonight.
Could be the Knicks' last game. Milwaukee swept the Heat,
Yep.
ran away
And
with it. R.I.P. Jimmy Butler. R.I.P. Tyler Harrow.
I did say they played like crap after that game and they just never
Yeah.
recovered. It's just
And then Brooklyn, they won, correct?
Yeah, Brooklyn won 4-1 on
They
Boston.
won. Yeah, so they took game 5.
And then Philly's up 3-1 against Washington.
And
But
Kyrie had something thrown at him leaving
water
Boston.
bottle.
Yeah, water
Leave it to
bottle.
Boston fans. More reason for, you know what? We can dive back into that another time, but I'm just saying, classless. Anyways, moving on. The big thing, though, looking at this Phoenix Suns versus the LA Lakers, Phoenix leading 3-2. LeBron, he's head of the Lakers super team right now. Nick, I believe was it you who posed the question, if LeBron loses in the first round, is the GOAT debate finally over? For those that live under a rock, the GOAT debate is LeBron versus Michael Jordan. I'm in the camp of Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time for basketball. LeBron, probably number 2 in my opinion. But with that, I will say, if LeBron were to lose in the first round, I don't think the debate's over.
Yeah, you don't think it will be?
No, I don't. Not because, and I'm not sitting here like as a LeBron advocate. LeBron's super talented, and his career goes beyond this one playoff series. Now, is it going to hurt his case? Absolutely, because everyone's going to be like, oh.
Yeah, that's why I said.
But Michael Jordan has lost in the first round before.
Yes.
So it's not, and I think Michael, like I said, I think.
Yeah, but Michael Jordan.
I think Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time, but he's lost in the first round before.
Yeah, but with the team of scrubs, like.
And I know, but you can't use the.
He has
lost in the first round. He has a better team than Jordan had in those years when he was losing in the first round. And that could help. But LeBron James's overall career, it has spanned longer than Michael Jordan's has spanned. His numbers, he's passed Jordan in a lot of things as well.
Yeah.
So you can't just take this one playoff series loss and go like, oh, they're just like, nope, it's over. Not even close.
Yeah, you can't.
I think it is still a close debate. One thing I will say is when people pull out that like, oh, look at both of their numbers in their year 14 when Michael Jordan was like 42 years old playing on the Wizards, and LeBron James in year 14 is 32.
Yeah.
It's like the same way how we have to take like you have to use context. LeBron James is what, 37 or 36 now?
I think 37 or 38, I think.
Someone get me an age.
Yeah, I'm getting now.
I think he's 36.
I want to say 36.
Yeah.
Either way, 36, high ankle sprain that he has admitted
36.
has been 36. He has admitted this high ankle sprain has been very difficult for him to recover
Yeah,
from.
and I understand it. But again, Anthony Davis goes out and he couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
So clearly he was relying on Anthony
So you're
Davis.
saying the debate ends? Or?
No, I put it like, it could be argued that he can. It could be argued that
Bobby,
he can't.
stop sitting on the top of the fence, man.
I'm just saying, it's
This man, it could go either way, really.
okay. Well, if I want it, no, it's not
Pick a
going
gun
to
and
end.
stick to it. Okay,
It's
there we
not
go.
going to end it. Yeah, because there's LeBron James lovers that will not stop arguing.
It'll never
Okay.
go away.
So, but it does fall more in Jordan's favor. I will say that.
I agree. So we're kind of in the same boat
Yeah.
here. I had to kind of sway you to get down from the top of the fence.
From off the fence.
You got to remember, Bob,
Gotta
sports
get the yard.
podcast, this is a debate moment here. We got to pick a side and stick to it. You can't be like, I could see it going that way or this way.
Yeah, but this is a tough. Like, this is a goat question. Like, is the debate finally gonna be over? Like, no, it probably will never be over.
No,
It will never be over.
there you go. It'll never be over.
I'm in the fine camp of the debate has been over for a while, just for the simple fact of if you're talking about greatest of all time,
3-6 in the
and
finals.
you're
You're
looking
gonna drop that.
at a guy who's 6-0 in the finals versus a guy who's 3-6 in the finals.
Or is he 4-6 now?
He's 3-6,
3-6.
which that's tough.
No, I think he's 4-6. Lakers won last year. He was 3-6 going into last year.
Okay, yeah.
So 4-6,
No, it says 3-6,
maybe.
but he's been in the finals 10 times. I don't understand.
4-6. He is 4-6 in the
4-6.
finals. I'm sticking to my guns on that.
Okay,
He's
let's
4-6.
say 4-6. Okay.
Either way, 6-0, 4-6. But
6-0,
he's been there
4-6.
10 times. You
You
see,
look
that's
at
the
that-
problem with this debate.
You look at that as like,
Yeah,
okay.
it spans over multiple, like more years. Yeah, so
Okay, so for I think the debate's over, but it's been over for a while. But right now, if he loses in the first round, I feel like the debate's even more over because every time you look at it, it's like, oh, Jordan lost in the first round all the time. LeBron's 11-0 in the first round. Now LeBron's going to lose in the first round, so you can't say that anymore. They're 6-0. You're never going to debate that.
Mhm.
And LeBron James is playing on a team like this team with the star power based on like the other competition they have is better than any of Jordan's teams. Yes, Pippen was amazing, but like there was a lot of good teams that Jordan went up against, which is why he lost in the first round.
And all throughout
round,
the 80s, he didn't even have any weapons to help him.
But the fact that you get to the finals and go 6-0,
we're all on the same
you're
page
done.
here.
The fact that you go to the finals 10 times and you're 4-6, not a great look. And you're also losing in the first round, which was like your big sticking point. It's kind of like LeBron, all of his stats are better. It's like, okay, but he played longer. He played in an era where points were like the Bulls barely gave up 100 points.
Yeah.
Ever.
The 3-point shot wasn't even a thing when
for most of Jordan's career, the 3-point shot was a thing.
No, but I'm saying when he developed as a player in college and everything.
No,
it wasn't even
right.
Really, even in the NBA,
he had already learned.
The line was there, but it wasn't
He had built himself as a different player than what today's offensive powerhouse is.
No, we're all in agreement. We think Jordan is the best. I mean, obviously, we're from Chicago.
For me, Jordan's the best. Debates over the debate that's starting to come into play now, which I didn't think was going to be a thing, was Kobe versus LeBron. Because Kobe's stats have always been great. His finals record was like kind of iffy because he played against better competition and played for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like I look at the GOAT debate is always broken down into more. If you're looking greatest basketball player of all time, it's Michael Jordan. If you're looking at greatest finals, like greatest playoff player, it's Bill Russell. He won 10 finals. Like he has the most.
Yeah.
And then if you're looking at like just all around greatest like scorer, contributor, I feel like it's also Jordan, and Kobe's in second. You can argue Kobe better. So it's like LeBron, best career, GOAT of longevity of a career.
Yeah.
It's LeBron. So it's like he wins that GOAT debate, but not the GOAT debates that matter.
But all I'm saying is this is not going to – him losing in the first round is not going to shut up
the debate will never stop. Yeah. There's going to be the loyalists on both sides.
Yeah.
So maybe is the debate finally over is really only the best wording you could really use for that.
I feel like for like the diehard, like when Shaq and Ernie and those guys on NBA TV or NBA Tonight do it, I feel like they're going to start being like, they're always kind of leaning more on the fence as Jordan's the GOAT. I
feel
think
like this will put them more on that
this
side.
is pushing to them where like they're kind of the big names of basketball when they debate stuff. Mm-hmm. They're going to be like, debate's over. And
right. And then we'll go to ESPN and we'll have Max Kellerman.
Who Andre Iguodala is the GOAT, obviously.
Although Stephen A. Smith is in the Jordan camp.
Yes, he is.
Stephen A. Smith.
I'm a fan of Stephen A. Smith.
I like Stephen A. Smith. He's gonna gun someone when he starts off with, I want to start off by saying I'm a big fan of LeBron James as a person. He's a wonderful father, a wonderful leader in the African American community. But that being said, he is an absolute crybaby.
He is an absolute liability.
And dude, that's when Stephen A. Smith starts by complimenting you like crazy and talking about how great of a person you are. You know he's about to gun you.
I'll give you credit. That was a good impression.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if the voice was there, but
the voice wasn't there. But like, if you put,
I felt like I was watching him. That's exactly how he starts off.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Can I get a round of applause?
Hey, for actually attending this week too.
Oh wow!
Stop it! Yeah. I'll take a bow.
He did not get paid vacation, by the way.
No paid leave, no sick leave here.
No.
We can't even pay ourselves.
Stop.
Where are we going with this? Sponsor us, someone, please.
Where we're going with this is the question of the week.
The question of the week is where okay, but real quick to summarize that LeBron thing. No. Yes. We all kind of agree that that the debate after this, if this happens, is not near as strong.
Yeah.
Bobby and I are just saying the loyalists will never let it die.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments down below.
Yeah, let us know where you stand on it. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts. But question of the week, that's where we were going. That's where we're staying going.
Question of the week, not really super sports related, but I am going to the Sox game this weekend.
I'm going on Friday.
I'm going Saturday.
Dude, are you going to try and get the Hawaiian shirt?
Yeah.
If we both go, we're wearing the Hawaiian shirts if we get them.
Yeah, for sure.
Next week.
For sure.
Oh, we're on vacation next
2
week.
weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks we'll wear Hawaiian shirts if we both get them. Bobby,
okay, question of the week.
Question of the week.
Because you guys didn't invite me on vacation.
Oh, shut up. What?
So
we like Bobby. It's just
they just didn't invite me on vacation.
Next question of the week. Where are we going?
Question of the week is ultimate tailgate food in your experience. I know tailgating closed, but I was just thinking about it. Like, I'm not talking about in the ballpark, when you're out there in the parking
Just
lot,
chilling in the parking lot.
it's like, you know, you got a Miller Lite in your hand or a Coors Light, you know, whatever, like your cheap beer in it. And
PBR.
what's going PBR,
PBR.
sure. Fill those
Some Bud
things.
Lights.
High life, man.
What food are like? Because I'm like, I'm a huge grill guy. Like I
Yeah.
love grill stuff like that. But like I've also been to tailgates where like we've had like barbecue, you know, like
Here's
barbecue
some-
ribs
No,
and
dude,
stuff.
Here, have
no,
this
no.
mostaccioli.
No, dude, no barbecue.
I'm talking about like
It's some brats, some Italian sausages, some burgers. That's the best.
tailgate food.
Tailgate food.
I don't know why I stared at
That's
him.
the
Yeah,
best.
I just was like, I'm gonna just stare at Bobby
Yeah.
until
I'm
like,
saying-
That's the best tailgate food.
The best tailgate food I've had is either a burger or I had a burger with pulled pork on top of it, and that for
Ooh.
sure was like
Okay, I mean, yeah, if you're throwing pulled pork on top of
I-
the burger, it can only make it better.
dude,
but-
I always go straight to like a cheddar brat.
yeah, exactly. Like
It's just like
and no barbecue food.
can't go
what kind of
wrong.
bun? You're rolling with like a regular hot dog bun, or do you go like French roll, like a little, you know, little beefier?
Well, if it's a brat, you need a French roll. It needs to be
Yeah.
able to handle all that schmeat in it.
yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, that's all right. Dude, yeah, great.
Yeah, you get.
You,
I hate myself.
you
so
just lobbed him up that one to say
Dude,
that.
you got to stop setting me up with all these, man. Just knocking them out of the park. But no, you got to go.
Garcia,
You got to go
gone
with the French
forever.
roll. One, the bread's a little bit better quality. It's sturdier. It holds it better. It
See, for
feels
me,
better in the hand.
It depends on the brat too, for me wise, because I'm like sometimes when you put a French roll in the brat, you get too much bread at once, and you don't get brat.
Yeah,
and
but
You're
bread.
just buying the wrong brats if you got too much bread.
Yeah,
with
dude, you
French
never. Bread's like the
Well,
like
some-
bread's always good, especially on French roll.
Oh,
You
but
can't
you're-
have too much.
Ooh, I think you're, but like if you eat a brat and you get a bite that's like all bread at the end, it's like all you have is just like a little like you don't want just that bread.
Well, that's why, dude, if you get a cheddar brat, so that cheese oozes onto the bread. Now it's just like cheese bread.
Which is great.
All right, but like what? So you think like people think barbecue food is the best?
No,
No,
I'm just,
no. He was
I'm
just saying the
I'm
different.
saying like me personally,
No,
like,
he was just saying the different tailgate
I'm-
foods he's experienced.
I'm
Oh,
never
okay.
gonna be mad about a burger and hot dogs. Like
No,
just
Oh,
no,
exactly.
you
That's
can't
like
go
my
wrong.
favorite
very
food.
like I'm talking like Aldi brand, like really cheap burgers. Like I'm still gonna have a great time eating.
Yeah,
them. But I'm saying
exactly.
like if I get to pick of my choice, I'm gonna go with like some nice pulled pork, maybe some ribs or something if someone's really going all out. That's what I'm saying. Like
Okay.
my like
The-
dream tailgate.
Here's,
like, I'm
here's a
having
quick question.
whatever I
What's
get.
the weirdest one you've seen? Because I was at a Sox game and I watched a dude pull out like 3 trays of lasagna. And I guess it's not a weird food, but it's just kind of like, dude, that's your tailgate food,
But
lasagna?
that's a weird tailgate food. Yeah, like
yes,
for sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Weird tailgate food. I'm just like, really? You couldn't pull out the
Dude,
charcoal
honestly,
grill?
like pulled pork and stuff like that. I think that's weird. Like,
Oh, you're going, okay, you're getting a little bit too much here.
Bobby's like, if it's not just a small little charcoal grill with 3 patties and a couple.
yeah, I mean, like
Pulled pork is more okay,
A,
but like
unless you're bringing
pulled
an
pork,
RV.
pulled pork is more reasonable than like trays of lasagna.
Yes, I agree with you there.
That's
But
just
when I
weird.
think of tailgate food, I think of burgers, brats, hot dogs. Like
Okay.
that's
Weirdest
immediate.
one I've seen, dude. It was at when I was at a Sox game. Dude pulled out a big ass wok and just put it down and made like some kind of
Oh.
like ramen. And I'm like, that baffles me because I'm like, that's a hard food to eat with your hands. Like
You
know,
can't eat it with your hands.
like a hot dog. You
You're
just
just like, all right, everyone, come and get your little soup bowls.
And I'm like, okay,
Please
so
don't
you got
have
it.
small.
Like when you have a hot dog, you just bring the packages of
Just
hot
hold it.
dogs, the packages of bread,
Exactly.
and you put the hot dog on the bread and you go. I'm
Yeah.
like,
This
you're
man's
making like
like,
ramen.
you gotta sit
have to
down.
bring bowls. You have to
You
make
gotta-
sure you bring silverware
You
because you're
prob-
not.
yeah,
you're
when
not
it's
just-
ramen, you need to have the spoon and the fork, and then
Yeah.
you got to sit and go,
So I did
Cut
not.
off, it's gonna be hot.
I did not see what that man was making. He could have thrown hot dogs in there. for
no,
all I know,
you
but I'm
don't
like,
make hot dogs in
Yeah.
a wok.
He just has this huge wok,
Yeah,
and I'm
wok,
like, that
wok,
is a
wok.
strange.
How do you say it?
So I don't know what the food that was made. I mean,
It was
if you were
probably,
that guy,
it was
at-
most likely some kind of
Also,
soup or something.
also, I just want to let you know, Nick, you lied to me. They do not have nacho helmets. I asked the lady, they don't have.
maybe they don't have them for COVID. I don't know.
Yeah. So
I've
when
eaten
you guys
one
go,
before.
Did you
you're
look
gonna-
stupid? Did you feel dumb asking?
No, I said, excuse me, where do you get the helmet nachos?
And
And
she
she's
was
like,
listen here,
Uh,
dumb little
I
boy.
think I know why though, because isn't all of the
Oh,
outfield closed?
You get it on the concourse.
no, everything's open up now.
Oh, is it?
She was like,
Maybe they just-
she's like, maybe like 120, but honestly, I don't think they're doing it anymore.
wow,
I
that's
was like,
disappointing.
Wow, so I didn't lie to you. They're not doing it anymore. It's completely different than they don't even have it.
So, well, you're welcome.
Did they have
so,
the ice cream helmet?
no, dude.
Maybe they got rid of the helmets. Maybe it is a COVID thing.
Yeah.
Because you got it. It's like a shareable item.
Yeah. So when you guys go, don't ask.
I'm there for
I'm
the,
gonna
dude,
get
I'm
a
there for the
nacho
Hawaiian
helmet.
shirt. If I don't get the Hawaiian shirt, I'm gonna be.
I'm gonna
pissed.
get a nacho helmet, take a picture of it, post it to Twitter and
Andrew,
be like,
tell
wow,
Mel to
Bobby.
get me one.
We don't just get to go, I'll take 3 Hawaiian shirts, please.
Well, tell me if she doesn't want it. Tell her I will take it if she doesn't want it.
Okay, I'll let her know.
Yeah.
She'll probably hear this.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
she won't. I'll tell her. I'll let her know. But
if she doesn't want it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
We don't want to overstep.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I said, I'll let you know. I'll text you.
Yeah, okay.
I'll hit you up. But anyways, whatever. Thank you guys for tuning in this week. If you liked what you heard, give us a like on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at GTS Podcast 1. Go ahead, like, subscribe, comment on our YouTube stuff, interact with us on YouTube. We got to beat the algorithm there, guys. So help us out a little bit.
We sound like professional YouTubers
Yeah,
now. Say,
help us beat the algorithm. We will have a PlayStation 5 giveaway at 100,000 subscribers. We're at,
so 7 years from now.
so I mean, if you get us there, if you leave a comment and tag a friend, we might pick you. I'm not even going to bother with the Gmail, but you don't know I will. GTSpodcast1@gmail.com.
Yeah.
I got to do the whole spiel, guys. Next week, though, I will let you know Nick and I will be on vacation. We're going to Gatlinburg. We have no idea what Bobby's got planned for you guys.
We'll see.
We might, for all we know, we're going to find a way to make it work while Nick and I are in Gatlinburg. We'll discuss all that, but don't be shocked if you don't see Nick and I and Bobby's got some random people.
Special guest.
Yes,
Maybe
we
Cody
might.
Bellinger comes.
Maybe
I don't
Cody
know.
Bellinger comes. No,
we might
but
have a special guest. Yeah.
we might have a special. Bobby might have a special guest. We'll figure it all out. It'll still be. You're still welcome to use my garage.
All right.
I'll give you a key because we definitely locked the door.
Okay.
And yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you. And until next week, Bobby will see you, or
Yes,
maybe we
yeah.
all will. But
Yeah.
until next
Until
time,
next
we'll leave it at
time,
until
yeah.
next time. Thanks, guys.
All right,
Thank you.
see you guys.